Jonathan Majors is back in the news because he had his first court appearance, and his lawyer is blaming. What do you think he's blaming? If you had to guess, what would his lawyer be blaming?
Oh God,
racism.
NYPD racism. So it's like
Nice.
it's like a remix. It's an alternative version of racism.
it's a spin on a classic.
Yeah, it's a spin on a classic. So and to be fair, what he describes here is totally that. So assuming that the lawyer's telling the truth, which is a dubious claim at best, it actually sounds a little bit like that. So it says, Jonathan Majors appeared with his new girlfriend, Megan Good. Megan Good is a smoking hot actress. Megan Good is not the girl they're referring to that he supposedly had the incident with, the ex-girlfriend. So it's not the same person. He came with her Tuesday in a Manhattan courtroom where a judge set an August 3rd trial date for the domestic violence arrest that has grounded his skyrocketing movie career for the past 3 months. And it absolutely has done that. This dude was on
everything.
Nothing but he was on just an absolutely stratospheric rise.
I wonder with everything that's going on with Jamie Foxx right now and this health issues, I wonder if any big Hollywood guys come in to
fill the void,
save the day, and get him out of this mess because.
Well, here's what his lawyer says.
Somebody.
The lawyer told Insider that the star had hoped the misdemeanor assault charges would have been dropped by the Manhattan prosecutors. I'm honestly super surprised that they haven't. To be given that he's a celebrity, I'm very surprised. So it says it was 3 weeks later that Majors was arrested on suspicion of hitting his then girlfriend Grace Jabari. That is the first I've seen the name of this person. It's always just been an unnamed person.
There's video of this, right?
But the face was blurred out in the video.
But
so
was it blurred the
was,
quality was bad, or someone blurred it?
It was her in a nightclub, supposedly. Their evidence that she wasn't hurt was that she's carrying around like a bottle of champagne when her finger was supposedly broken. I don't think they've ever broken a finger because it doesn't prevent you from picking stuff up if just one finger is broken.
Yeah.
So here's what it says. It says, Miss Jabari claims that Mr. Majors assaulted her in a car in Chinatown around 12 a.m. on March 25th, 2023. And during this incident, Mr. Majors broke her finger and lacerated her ear. He wrote this letter to the Manhattan District Court Judge Rachel S. Pauley, and it was released on April 8th. We have proof that this is a complete lie, Chaudhry told the judge, detailing a trove of evidence, eyewitness interviews, phone records, credit card statements, and hours of surveillance and police body camera footage. And it's the police body camera footage where you start to figure out what they mean by this. The evidence that Chaudhry shared with the Insider did not show how Jabari was injured or the entirety of the fight between Jabari and Majors that is the center of the misdemeanor charges. It did, however, appear to support the lawyer's contention that Jabari's ear and finger were uninjured in the hours after the fight. So this is where they talk about the racist arrest. It says, Chaudhry continued that the letter that Jabari had said, I don't know, 19 times. So this is a letter where they're detailing what was said to the cops. So said, I don't know 19 times when asked by arriving medics and cops how she was injured, citing police-worn body camera footage taken at the penthouse and turned over to the defense by prosecutors. The letter alleges that NYPD footage shows the lead officer coaching Ms. Jabari to accuse Mr. Majors of assault. She said in the letter that the arrest was racist and showed the officers questioning among themselves how Majors, who they didn't recognize as a famous actor, could afford to live in a luxurious penthouse. Which is it seems like right out of Hollywood. So the 6 white officers sitting there saying just racist stuff amongst themselves.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards this is definitely true because I don't know why she'd make such bold claims.
If there was body camera footage if
she didn't actually have seen, if she hadn't seen the body cam footage.
So I think that this is a really interesting case because it's going to settle the position of women versus minorities in the oppression Olympics.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you guys, but I have no faith in pretty much any system right now.
Yeah.
So basically whatever wins will justify the power rankings. And then
who's higher on the oppression scale.
Correct.
in the end, right? It says prosecutors charged Majors with 6 counts of assault and 3 counts of harassing Jabari, a London-based movement coach, and I have no idea what a movement coach is. I'm guessing yoga or something like that. Does anybody know what a movement coach is?
No.
Something for rich people.
Something that rich people can afford?
It's who you see after you see your racism coach or whoever you're telling me about. Yeah.
Earlier, yeah. So here's what you do. First, you go and you have your racist dinner.
Yeah.
Where the
anti-racist.
The anti-racist dinner.
What a Freudian slip there, Brett.
Where the lady tells you that you're a horrible person, you're mean to your wife, and you're not good to people that don't look like you. And after you have dinner, you're full. Your belly's full. You got to work out. So you call your movement coach who comes over and I guess yells at you you to move until you get up and
Nice.
actually move around.
There you go.
Nice.
Right. I don't know if anything will end up coming of this. Marvel has not been in a good place recently. If you remember, the guy who plays Namor, not Namor, Namor, the Submariner, has now been accused of sexual assault. Tenoch Huerta. So they can't catch a break with these like real life people that turn out to be villains.
Dude, they're just gonna end up getting casting Pedro Pascal for like every role.
That's like the go-to now. It's like
Yeah.
when in doubt, just cast Pedro Pascal. I actually just read something earlier that Jensen Ackles, who still wants to play Batman for Batman: The Brave and the Bold, said, "I want to do it still, but they'll probably just end up casting Pedro Pascal."
That's really
Because they
funny.
probably will. They'll probably make Pedro Pascal Batman.
I mean, what are these Marvel castings? It's like, okay, sir, are you a violent psychopath?
Basically.
They come
Well,
right in.
and then in Pedro Pascal, he's like, he feels like one of those people that's like one scandal away from like everything being bad because he's just too perfect to them.
Oh,
like
yeah.
nothing bad. No, there's like he's very, very safe. Nothing bad
Yeah.
ever comes out about him. He said the crappy stuff about Trump supporters over the 2020 election. Nothing happened. Nothing came of it because he said it right at the same time that Gina Carano made her statement where she basically said like, "Don't be mean to your neighbors," and they're like, "That's racist. You can't say that. You're fired from Disney." And he's like, and he called all Trump supporters Nazis,
Well, good
and
for
you're
him.
just allowed to do that because that's par for the course
Yeah,
over
yeah.
at Disney, as we're
But
going to learn in
you're
the
allowed
next
to
segment.
say that. Yeah.
So, it's, I would like to see Majors, like, I want the body camera footage to come out, and I want the footage from inside the cab to come out, because supposedly there's footage of this actual incident, the whole thing that this is based on, because it took place in a cab, and cabs have to have security camera footage. So, like, they should release that to the public so that they can get public perception back on their side, assuming, of course, that what's on those tapes actually backs up what they're saying.
No, probably not.
Like, I don't know. Like, but like a lot of the other articles were saying that like the actor, Jonathan Majors, has a famous temper and it's got a bad rap in Hollywood.
That's what I'm saying, like, yeah.
But it's like anyone can say anything. Who am I? Am I supposed to believe that? Am I supposed to not believe that? I don't know. But like, until you prove to me otherwise, the dude's innocent until proven guilty.
But isn't there already footage of the chick getting smacked?
No, there's footage that has been released of her later that night in a nightclub after the supposed incident, which they use as evidence, supposedly, that how badly could she have been injured if she went back out that night.
Yeah.
Being a lawyer must be fun.
Oh yeah, me and Mary talk about it all the
She's
time. Like,
fine.
me and
Like-
Mary talk about it all the time. Like, lawyers are the last bastion group of people that just gets to be mean to people all
Hell
the
yeah.
time. Like you're on the stand and she's like, I was accused, like, and I was R-worded, and he's like, well, you were dressed like this, weren't you? Like, what did you
Wow.
do? Like, lawyers can be.
That's horrible.
Lawyers are awful, and like
Yeah.
everybody hates lawyers for a reason, and they're the last group of people that gets to just be unbelievably awful to people and just be like, hey, just doing my job.
Yeah.
I'm just doing my job. I have to ask these questions, right? Like, I don't know. I personally think that Major's career, it's just stalled. He'll end up coming back, especially in a day and age where it seems like these types of things don't seem to stick.
Yeah, no, cancellations don't hit.
And we talked about it the other day. Like when it comes down to it now, like whether we're talking about Andrew Tate, whether we're talking about any of these Disney celebrities, at a certain point, the illusion was broken. You're no longer allowed to live in this fantasy world where these celebrities are like people that you should aspire to be, like people believed back in the day. You just kind of accept now. You're like, am I watching a horrible person or am I watching a saint? I have no idea. And we've kind of just accepted as a culture that the entertainment is something we have to put first and accept that some of these people are just bad.
Speaking of Andrew Tate, I just got hit by a Matrix attack today.
What was the Matrix attack?
I got hit by a Matrix attack. I got suspended from Twitter
Oh yeah,
for calling someone king.
it's just wrong, man. Like what? So you didn't even
Clearly a Matrix attack.
you didn't even call them a name. You just
No,
called
I
them,
was like,
you gave them a
king.
compliment.
You know how many
Yep.
people you misgendered with that tweet?
Maybe one.
Shame on you.
Okay. My
My favorite is like it's not even Andrew Tate. It's the Ryan Long skit where he talks about he's like the Matrix is attacking me and his girlfriend's like, you didn't get fired because of the Matrix. You got fired because you wouldn't stop talking to people at the coffee shop about it.
I'm gonna hire Kellen to be that guy that comes home for dinner and calls me racist.
There you go. That's like-
I'm good at that.
You want you want 10 grand?
You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah,
There was an episode of Burn Notice where like they're talking in the bonus features, like they have a therapist and they're at their house and they're like, why is the therapist at their house? That's not how therapy works. And they're like, they just didn't have the budget to build a set for a therapist office. They're like, well, what if the therapist came to their house? They're like, therapists don't do that. He's like, they do now.
No. I don't think it's trendy anymore. They used to. A lot of like rich
I mean,
people.
doctors did, right?
No, like rich. If you had money, you would just have the therapist come to your house, and you I don't know. I've seen it in lots of different movies and shows. I'm pretty sure it's just something that isn't done anymore.
Yeah.
But it would be a doctor visit like any other. You know.
They did like in like season 5 of Blue Bloods, they had a doctor like take care of Frank at home, and I'm like, it's like 2015. Doctors aren't coming to your house, but I guess he's the police commissioner. He probably has a doctor.
I know,
on
it'd
call.
be weird too. He's like, you're feeling sick, and he'll look around and see like empty bags of Doritos and Coca-Cola, and be like, well, I can tell you why you're feeling sick, man.
In the show, he had like an ankle injury, so they just put a boot on his leg. But like now, they're like, oh, I don't feel well. They're like, well, look at all this junk food around you.
Yeah.
Are you getting up and not playing video games at all during the day, or are you just playing video games all
It's
day?
like, dude, it's the Twinkies and the Netflix that's been running for 8 hours.
That's me. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.